Make a FNAF fangame on Scratch without broadcasts. That's another request I got on my comment section. Now, what block can you use otherwise? Variable blocks, obviously, since these blocks will definitely help a lot during this challenge. So hey guys, it's Volt and welcome to another video. So today I'm showing you yet another devlog on how I made a FNAF fangame on Scratch without broadcast blocks. Of course, as usual, I began with making a warning screen. And in order to activate the script that transitions from the warning screen to the menu screen, I added the wait until block with the mouse down sensor. So when you click, that's when the game starts the menu screen. I also added a menu variable, which is important for when you click the start game button. I'll explain later. And a start game button. Now, usually when you click on that button, you get a broadcast which starts the game. But again, I can't use it. So that's why I added the menu variable. When you click the start game button, it sets the menu variable to off, which will start the night. Why? Because I used the wait until block with the menu off variable. Let's try it out, shall we? Very good, very good. Afterwards, I added the office variable, which is used for the gameplay when the office is gonna be shown and hidden. Now it's time for making the office. My goal for the office is to add directions so you can look outside of the door and the camera monitor. I added an almost black desk, a few papers and a trash can. And yeah, that was pretty much it. But now, let's get into the actual mechanics of the game. So I made a camera monitor, and I also added some detail to it, such as a keyboard and two glowing buttons on it. I inserted the interaction script, where the object glows when you have the mouse pointer on it. And then I began working with the first camera room, the main stage. So I copied and pasted the two animatronics and inserted them into the camera room. To make the camera room more visually appealing, I added a darkness effect and also made a different costumes for the animatronics disappearing from the stage. So after a long time of coding the cameras, I made two buttons used for changing the player's direction and afterwards made a button for turning off the cameras. I coded with them a little and then made the office door costume. And of course I added some detail to the room. Let's put a little more work into the cameras, shall we? I added the second camera, a dining area, and afterwards I added the animatronics to these rooms. Back to the office, I made a computer which is used for making a task required to complete the night instead of using the boring timer mechanic. In order to make the cameras look visually appealing, I added a static script that I had in the backpack. I also made the recording layout and a map of the restaurant. I also made the camera buttons in a quote-unquote minimalistic style by having the actual map areas as camera buttons. So I made all of the camera rooms needed for the game, which took a really long time. About the defenses, I created a tablet used for turning on the alarms that will scare the animatronics away. In the footage shown right now, you see me animating the tablet flipping up and down. Afterwards, I added all of the buttons used for turning on the alarm in the room where the player is clicking on. Remember when I talked about tasks? Well, I added 6 different cubes, which would be like a code, and so I added multiple codes, which will be randomly selected. The task works like this. There's another 6 cubes below the code, so you'll need to click the cubes to light them up. To complete the code, you'll need to light up the cubes where the cubes above are dark. So here's a button which you click on when you're ready to input the code, and here's also the amount of codes you'll need to do. There's further codes you'll need to do each night, by the way. So again, with the help of variables, when you click the input code button, the input code variable changes to yes instead of no, which will play an animation where both rows of cubes will glide towards each other and fade as they do it. Meanwhile, my script will detect if the code is correct or incorrect, and if the code is correct, you'll get one step closer to the 30 codes mark. Let's begin with the animatronics 2. I started with making Sheffer's AI. I put in his basic AI, he begins on the stage, goes to the dining area, goes for the corridor, and then goes for the office. In the footage you see right now, that's just me animating Sheffer, which is gonna play when he goes for the office. I even made a jump scare animation where Sheffer goes into the office and even jumps into the player's face. But I also added scripts, which is gonna be used for which room he'll go to, depending on which alarm you activate. For example, if he's in the dining area, and you activate the alarm, which is in the dining area, he'll randomly go to the kitchen or the corridor. Note that I say randomly. That is because I added a variable which will constantly be changed to either 1 or 2. I also made the AI for Pastry, the second animatronic. There's nothing to say about her AI, except the fact that she takes a different route to the office, but otherwise I just copied Schiffer's AI and pasted it onto Pastry's AI. After that, I began working on making the ventilation system, where 2 animatronics will crawl through, and you'll need to shut the ventilation shaft. You can only shut 1 at a time, by the way. And since it's a motion sensor and not cameras, I made 2 cubes that are gliding around the vents, and in the footage you're seeing right now, that is me working on the movement of those 2 cubes. Here's also me working on the salmon-colored animatronic's jump scare. The name of that animatronic is called Cleaner. Also did the same thing for the other animatronic, the prototype. Here's me making the shift completed screen, and in order to trigger the screen, I added another variable named shift completed. The variable turns from no to yes, and that triggers the shift completed scene. Now let's make the last animatronic, the server. However, he pretty much acts the same as Pastry and Schiffer, but he's faster and has a different animation, so there's not much to say about him. But yeah, here's me just working on his animation. Now, after a lot of time of fixing bugs, adding sounds, and testing the game multiple times, I present you Diffusion, a FNAF fangame on Scratch made without broadcasts. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and by the way, thank you Lemon Dude for making that request. And if you want to try the game out, it's in the description. But guys, that's actually the end of the video. So have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Adios.